I've been nothing but genuine and truthful in here.
Listen, English is my second language, so maybe in the UK, genuine and truthful means something else. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island UK season 13 episode 23. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So the episode picks up after Never Have I Ever. We have Jasmine and Tina who are talking about basically the Murphy boys and how they weren't understanding that their behavior in the game was embarrassing for Tina.
Don't make me look like I'm a silly little girl. No, girl, I hear you. He was like laughing and I was like, it's not funny. Like, did the boys not understand how embarrassing that is for me?
I was laughing, but at the same time, it did wind me up a little bit when she kept going on and on and on.
I'm not going to be burned twice. Yeah, nah.
I definitely understand where Tina's coming from. The man had been going around basically saying that he's catching the ick for Tina, but then telling her, oh no, I prioritize you. Then after saying, I prioritize you, you're saying, oh yeah, well, I wish I could have had a rerun with Yasmin or whatever. You ain't said that. And it sounds like if Yasmin was down, you would be down. So again, is that you really prioritizing Tina? I don't know. I don't know. One thing I can say is he was living in the gray area and hoping he wouldn't get caught. But what I don't like about Aiden is he acts as if he is being honest. And that is the problem. He wants to be like, no, I've been genuine, I've been truthful, I've been honest. No, you haven't. You've purposefully been living in the gray area to make sure you don't get caught in a situation. At least he's the smarter Murphy boy. Tommy, with his dumb ass, he just be flat out lying. I do think Aiden was definitely lying more so in the beginning, but this time around, I'm like, I can see why he thinks he made it known that Yasmin was still an option for him. But no, he absolutely was not clear. And even later on in the evening, Tina is like, yes or no, do you have residual feelings? Or did you tell me that you had residual feelings for Yasmin? Oh, we should just talk about this tomorrow so you can formulate your thoughts. Because you lying. Okay. Anyways, speaking of Yasmin also didn't want to look like an idiot by the hands of Lorenzo. And she's like, I don't even have an issue with you feeling like you fumbled Jasmine, right? But it would have been nice to be in the know before the challenge. And I agree. These two have nothing but to talk, especially now that they are only pursuing each other. So he could have let her know. She seems to be, I think Yasmin's understanding, right? I don't remember seeing Yasmin ever pop off on somebody for having another option. It's just about being respectful in your pursuit of other options. So yeah, I think she would have been understanding. Yeah, it's gonna be rough for these two because it seems like there is unfinished business on Lorenzo's side. And even if there wasn't unfinished business, he's already admitted that he's getting bored. So yeah. Jasmine and Mika attempt to have a conversation with Samraj and Kavin, but unfortunately, as you would suspect, things got heated.
I hear Tina, to be fair. I do really hear her.
What?
You can't go around preaching all this stuff about...
That's fine.
I'm talking.
But
He could have easily... Wait, I'm talking. You can't go around preaching
chill out,
about...
Jazz. You keep telling me I'm talking,
Because I am, and you're interrupting me. Whether they were right or wrong is a different thing. Didn't need you to tell me chill out. Don't ever do that again. Cav, I'm being serious. Don't ever do that again. I actually wasn't going to lose my head. I lost my head because you kept interrupting me. You pissed me off during that conversation.
Letting y'all know from now, the Jasmine warriors, y'all are going to be upset. Every time I say something negative about Jasmine, y'all are up in arms. So I'm preemptively telling you, you're about to be irritated. All right? Lovely. I actually do agree with what Jasmine is saying. I do agree that the behavior in the challenge can make the girls feel like embarrassed. Like it's not kind. It's you know, it's just not nice. Just don't do that. However, the tone in which she was speaking with was as if she wanted to give these guys a lecture and not really hear a response. Kavin is like, well, you're talking about my brother, number one. So I'm going to come to my brother's defense. And also, number two, if you're making a point, I do want to rebuttal your point before you move on to the next thing. She didn't see it as that. She saw it as, I'm just going to say my point and then you can say your point. The track record with Jasmine is that that's not the case. Like, she wants to get her shit off and then let that be that. She doesn't want to hear a rebuttal. She doesn't, so I can understand why Kavin was like, no, if I have something to say in response, I am going to say something, especially if you're talking about my brother. Now, where he lost me was when he told the girl to chill out because, come on. That's the same as saying calm down. When have you ever told a person to calm down and they genuinely calm down? Like, you're agitating the person even more. So I was like, yeah, that was a misstep. But I do understand why he was getting frustrated, because he's like, you can't just say, hey, don't interrupt me. If we're having a conversation, let it be that, you know? So I do understand that point. I personally see where she's coming from in terms of the things that she is saying, but the approach kind of put the guys on the defense. And from there, it just all went downhill, right? And on top of that too, I don't even think there's an issue with saying, hey, can I finish my point? But it's also the way that you say it. She sharply kept saying, I'm talking, don't interrupt me. And that sounds rude, and it makes people get on the defense. And then what Calvin said also made her get on the defense. So it just... it wasn't going to go well after that. So she's then going to say, you know, I'm a fiery person. I have a lot of passion. We know that she's the type who's like, if you can't deal with it, then get out the kitchen. Honestly, the long and short of it is, I don't think that Calvin can deal with it. I don't think he wants to deal with it. It's funny because Aiden has been the most vocal when it comes to, you know, speaking against outspoken women. But I think Calvin is similar. He has a higher tolerance, but it also gets to a point. At some point, I think these two got to wrap it up. I'll just be honest. I don't think it's going to work long term. Simba takes Tommy aside and, you know, this had potential. But again, sometimes your tone escalates things to a level that it doesn't have to get to.
You get stick for what you did, and you feel as if I didn't get stick. You know, I did get stick for it. Like Angie, I'm still grafting till this day.
I wasn't sorry for what I've done.
You don't feel as if your actions have played a part, though, bro?
In people leaving?
Yeah.
But give me a reason of how I'm responsible.
Accountability, bro.
Give me a talking shit.
I don't think we're gonna agree.
Why are you angry?
Just chatting off, man. Fucking idiot. Oh, obsessed with me. Get my name out your mouth, man.
So in this conversation, Tommy admits he wasn't apologizing, which it didn't really seem like an apology. He said he was coming to clear the air, so he didn't say he was apologizing. But he was making it seem like he was taking accountability. But now he admits, no, my intention was never to take accountability. I actually was just trying to show the women my perspective. So what was the point of that? Because you know that they don't see your perspective. You know that they don't agree with your behavior. But you framed it as if you were taking accountability. And then you knew you were going to, like, hopefully be absolved by bringing in somebody who did things that the villa considers as worse to make yourself seem like what you did wasn't that bad. So I did understand Simba's frustration there. Where he lost me was, number one, pinning his friends leaving on Tommy. That's not his fault. That's actually the villa's fault. Well, the most recent one. The villa voted to keep him in. His behavior put other people vulnerable, made other people vulnerable, but the ultimate decision was on the villa. So that's not on Tommy. And then what further escalated things was him getting activated. Simba, my God. I need this man to have some emotional regulation. The good thing is he's often able to go decompress, come back with a clearer mind, but he's gonna have to learn how to have that in the moment. Have to, like, take a beat and say, okay, I'm coming from an emotional place. I'm seeing that I'm saying things that are gonna escalate the situation. Let me dial it back a bit. But no, storms off, F this, keep my name out your mouth. Ha! You were even making valid points, but here you go making it null and void because of your behavior. Now people don't want to listen to what you're saying because you're getting activated. And you know, looking how you looking, it's never gonna be received well. Jasmine wants to have a conversation with Lorenzo, and he's a bit tense because he's like, are you gonna chew me out? And she's like, no, I'm actually coming to say thank you. She thanks him for being kind in how he spoke about her and the challenge. And it was at this point that I realized the grace that I had for Jasmine at the beginning when Lorenzo was saying she wants somebody who's obsessed with her. I think he was on the money. I was trying to defend her, being like, no, I think she just wants somebody who's intentional in their pursuit of her. I'm now convinced she does want somebody who's obsessed with her, because anytime she receives some kind of challenge, she's upset. If she receives flattery, she's all about it. So I'm like, baby girl, if you want a relationship, sometimes it's gonna come with some pushback. Sometimes you are gonna be challenged. Who, guys, when I tell you, so I'm recently married. This is my first ever relationship. And, you know, we just went to the full extent. When I tell you, there are so many times where I'm just like, I'm not used to being challenged. And it's taking a lot for me not to bark back. Actually, I can't even say bark back because he does not bark at me at all. This man is such a gentle giant. But when he has a stance, he's firm on it, okay? And that's a bit jarring for me. Not used to that. I think Jasmine is similar. For her, I think it would be better to be with somebody who's a bit more passive, a bit more agreeable. And that's not Kavin. It seems like he was for a minute, but once you start to hit close to home, he's not going to have that. And I think him and Jasmine are always going to clash when it comes to that. Mika and Samraj have a conversation about Priya. And he's like, honestly, I've gotten to the point where I just want to kiss her on the cheek and roll over. Which then begs a few questions for me. Are you a sleazebag? Because if you've gotten the egg and all this stuff, but you're still intimate with this girl in the bed, like, I can only deduce that you're a sleazebag. Like, what? Are you? Like, what's the deal? My other question is, okay, so then is she pressuring you? Because what's going on? Like, he keeps making it seem, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, but then you end up doing it. So one thing's got to be true. Either she's pressuring you, which is a problem, or you're a sleazebag, which is also a problem. I don't see any other options. If y'all have one, let me know. But I'm like, Samraj is giving you a sleazebag. Like, I don't understand. You talking about, I have the ick, I don't want to be intimate with this girl, but any opportunity you get to be intimate with the girl, you are. Any chance you have to be honest with the girl, you're not. So, I don't understand what we're doing here. Anyways, Priya says she's tired of not being prioritized, so she says she's okay with removing herself from the triangle. She reiterates that in bed. She's like, listen, I know you're into math, but I'm not here for the pentagon, hexagons, triangle. I'm not doing it anymore. The next morning, Mika says they should have another conversation. I'm confused why. Why should they have another conversation? A few episodes ago, I was wondering, like, is this Mika's thing where she shows interest in somebody, but she wants to make sure that person still has something so that when it's time for her to pull back, she can't be blamed for making that person focus solely on her. I don't know. That is just a theory. With every episode, I'm like, that seems to be the case. But anyways, she's later going to be confused when they have a conversation. She's like, I don't even know what there is to talk about. But you said she should talk. And in that conversation, when she told Priya she should talk, Priya was like, no, I think I'm actually good. So, anyways, child, Aiden tells Tina he's been genuine and honest. And she's like, yeah, you're so genuine. You're so honest. It took him too long to realize that she was being sarcastic. But anyways, she goes in on him basically saying that he didn't treat her as a priority. Again, I can kind of see what Aiden is saying regarding Yasmin. Like, Yasmin was a non-factor. I'm just being honest that, yeah, there are still feelings for her, but I was prioritizing you. It wasn't like I was still trying to talk to Yasmin. What he isn't being transparent about, though, was that he been off Tina. He been saying he's over her. He doesn't like the antics. He was having regrets, whatever. So sure, maybe you were more honest about the Yasmin thing, but you weren't honest about how you actually felt for Tina. I do think Tina was dragging it a smidge. She's obviously embarrassed. I don't think it's a matter of her actually having deep feelings for Aiden. Being embarrassed sucks. Looking like a dodo sucks, right? Especially with somebody who you knew wasn't going to do right by you, and then they prove you right, you know? So yeah, I think she was dragging it just a little bit. Tommy and Simba talk again. Truly, who cares? Simba apologizes. He says, I was speaking from a place of emotion. They dap it up. Cool, whatever. Jasmine tells Calvin that she's a very passionate person and she needs somebody who understands that. Long and short, I don't think he will ever understand. I think naturally he's not going to take well to somebody who is as fiery, for lack of a better term, as Jasmine. So either they're going to have to be able to talk about these things or just accept that they're incompatible as far as temperament is concerned. Because even in this conversation, they were trying to hash it out. They didn't come to a resolve, but they hug and move on. And I'm like, and that's another problem y'all have. Y'all don't want to talk about the real thing, because I think once they actually like dissect the relationship, they're going to realize it's not working. And it probably won't work in the future either. Then Lorenzo and Yasmin have a conversation. Lorenzo... okay. He tells Yasmin, this is typically the point where I would, dip. And she's like, oh, so what's making you say? He's like, I don't have choice. I have nowhere to go. Who says that? Why would you say that? What? Okay, all right. Then we have Priya, who says maybe she ended things prematurely, but she does say if somebody comes in, she's talking to Samraj. She says if somebody comes in, I am going to prioritize them. And Samraj is like, that's fine. That's totally fine. You should do that. I don't think we should close the door. And if Mika wasn't in the picture, we would have been going from strength to strength. What a liar. What a crock of shit. What are you talking? What? Sir, this man has told everybody within earshot, I don't like the girl. I got the egg. Her kisses suck. She be pushing up on me. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So you want to open the door for what? For what? Samraj is them nice guys who are really fuckboys. I'm telling you. Fast forward to the heart rate challenge. Guys, YouTube is real sensitive. And in the past, I have shown the footage. I don't know if I can do that anymore, but I'll put in like short little clips. Okay? Very short little clips. Ellie was first. I can genuinely say she made me proud. She made me, I said, Ellie, this is why I like you. She went in. I wish that she, diversified her moves a little bit, but that's fine. When she got to Finley, she straddled him. She motorboated him. I said, okay, girl. I liked it. It was very sexy, very cute. Then with Priya, she shocked me. I actually didn't expect her to be so good at the dancing. She gave Samraj some extra attention. I didn't like that. I felt like he didn't deserve it. Sean said maybe he went exclusive a little too early. You don't say. Can't take it back down. Then we have Jasmine. I thought the way Jasmine danced would have been the way Priya danced. And the way Priya danced would have been the way Jasmine danced. Jasmine was a little bit stiff for me. She's a little bit stiff, but she was using her utensils. She was whipping the boys or whatnot. I said, okay, that's something. Now this was a dope move. She took Lorenzo. She took Colvin. She danced in between them, but facing Colvin, meaning her booty and all that was on Lorenzo. I say, okay now. Okay now. I thought that was cool. Then she gave Colvin a little dance or whatever. But then here goes Lorenzo waving at Jasmine, who's up at the terrace. She waving back. I said, no, y'all playing in Colvin's face. I don't like that. Don't do that. Mika was next. Mika? Up until this point, Mika was my star. The girl can dance. She was doing lap dances, sucking fingers, grinding on the boys, clapping them cheeks. I said, Mika, that's that Bayesian in you, isn't it? That's that Bayesian. No, she did that. She absolutely did that. Next was Lola. Lola actually performed better than I expected. She made sure not to touch the boys, but she still gave them a little something. She went to Sean. She straddled him. They did whatever. The man was gagging from the beginning. As soon as he saw her in this bridal lingerie thing, he was just smitten. He said, I need to hurry up and marry this girl. I said, okay. All right. Okay. You know what? If you like it, I love it. Angelista, I'm even getting chills, okay? Angelista came out and that cake alone, oh my God, the cake stole the show. The girl, that she was putting in work because the camera made sure to cut off her ass as much as possible. I've never seen that before. Because people who had a similar dance that I can remember in recent history would be like Catherine and Whitney. They got a lot of cake and they were using that cake. Angelista, they made sure to not show us a lot of her booty. And I was like, eh? And she did a good job because at the end of it, the whole villa was chanting her name. The guys were chanting her name. The girls were chanting her name. And she went up to the terrace. She's like, I don't know, I feel like that was kind of the bare minimum. So you could have went harder? I think it was Jasmine. Jasmine was like, no, girl, you literally put us to shame. You put us to shame. And you know what? I'm in two minds because thank you for not over-sexualizing Angelista, but also she's not beating the boring allegations because the show is not showcasing her fullest potential. You know what I'm saying? Everybody made it clear Angelisa did the best, but we didn't get to see it. That's fine. Anyways, Yasmin was next. As expected, she's like, the white girls at the club when they be drunk, that's kind of what it was giving. She asked Aiden if he missed her. He said yes. And then she danced on Sean. Most of the girls did not, but she actually did dance on Sean. And then she made out with Lorenzo on the grass. Last was Tina. I'll be so honest, quite lackluster. Don't know why they ended with Tina. I don't know what they expected from her. But she did save Tommy for last, and she teased the kiss with Aiden, but she didn't really go for it. The next episode is going to be the guys. It seems like something shocking is going to happen. I'm not sure what it could be. Yeah, I'm not sure what it could be, but we'll see what happens. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.